We are the Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge, and we're here located at 2016 Granby Street, and we have multiple locations in actuality. She's going to actually post that up on the YouTube, the Houston, VA, Rochester, San Antonio, with their times, dates, and locations. If you like to get class in those particular states, so you can definitely check that out. But we also got the Blog Talk Radio. We've been going on for years by YAHAWASHI, and that's she's also going to post that up there too. So that's another way of starting your morning the proper way. You know, the Blog Talk Radio classes while you're driving, heading to work. You know, get your day started right. Instead of the music, get your day started right with that Blog Talk, something spiritual. And then we also have these different YouTube channels as well with the classes, 5 Minutes of Wisdom. She's going to put that online. The 5 Minutes of Wisdom, the Hidden Truth, Israelite Media Corp. So these different styles of delivering information to you. To what? For the word to reach your spirit, to interpret, for you to be able to internalize it in a different way. You know, same word, same wisdom, the Bible, but different styles of just getting the information out to you so you can feed your spirit. And then we also have upcoming, the Feast of Pentecost? Yeah. So the Feast of Pentecost, and that's June 11th? Yeah, so she put that online as well too, but just to say it out for the people in the classroom, June 11th, the Feast of Pentecost. So that'll be on a Saturday and a Sunday. So that's gonna be nice. As y'all see, the Passover just passed, and that was nice. It felt quick, but it was nice. It felt quick. You know, the last year we was able to do the whole week because I think that was a pandemic. So that was very, very good. And then we also have the Israel wear, so that's up and running. So if you have a garment, or if you want to sign up to, get you a garment, a designated design one, particular to you, you can get that order in. Get your garment right. Look fly, look fresh. Get in tune with your culture. Right? And then we also have the Hebrew Academy. The Fringe stuff as well too. So you can definitely check that out. Get your subscription going. If you want something nice, a fringe shirt with a headband, that'll be nice. Have that coming every month. You ain't gotta worry about it. You gotta think about it. I want something new. But it coming new next month. That's something new coming for you next month. You already got it lined up. So we also have the Hebrew Academy in all states of Houston, Virginia, and Rochester. And we have in Houston and Virginia. She's gonna put the days up on there. So VA in New York and VA in Rochester on Mondays. Houston is on Tuesdays. So you can definitely, if you want to tune in and become a part of that and learn how to be a priest, we definitely got that avenue. So it's there for you. It's up to you, your desire, your will. And then we also, if you want to contact the priest CHAAZAQYA's number, the priest YAHAWASHI's number is up there on the screen. So if you want to contact them for counsel, advisement, questions on a specific topic, we just went over the Immaculate Conception the last 2 days of class. So even if you just any questions, just bring them. You want to be able to be clear and sound in the doctrine and in the lifestyle that you engage in. So you want that. And we also got the sweet ambiance and things of that nature. We got sweet ambiance and we got chosen creations. So sweet ambiance deals with fragrance. Chosen creations deal with the armbands, the necklaces, plaques. We have 2 of the creators over here working on that, right? So you get anything done with that. So if you definitely want to support or just want something nice, decoration with Hebrew words, Hebrew letters for your house, that'd be nice. So, and we also have the donations if you want to donate, support, the truth. But that'll be all from announcements today. So, does anybody have any questions? No questions? In class? Online? Give a little time. Everybody probably just still tapping in. Or signing in. Oh, Nas?
Oh, there it is. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 8. Therefore, he said when he ascended up on high.
You gotta try to, so they can hear you.
Okay.
Raise your voice. Remember, this is your opportunity. All right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Wherefore he said, when he ascended up on high, he leadeth captivity. He leadeth captivity captive, and give gifts unto men. So I was trying to talk about YAHAWASHI going up. So I'm trying to figure out what they meant when they said that he led captivity captive.
Right. So you're Ephesians 4 and 22, right?
4 and 8.
Oh, sorry, 4 and 8.
Yeah.
Okay. Start at 6.
Start at 6.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One God and Father of all, who is above all and through all and in you all, but unto every one of us is given grace according to the measure of the gift of Christ.
Right. So we were given grace by Christ sacrificing himself. This is what it's saying, right? Go ahead.
Wherefore he saideth, when he ariseth up on high, he led captivity.
Wherefore he said, when he ascendeth up on high. What does that mean?
When he went up.
Right. So when he went back to the Father, right? When he went back to the Father, go ahead.
He led captivity captive,
Mm-hmm.
and gave gifts unto men.
Right. And he led captivity captives and laid what?
And gave gifts unto men.
Uh-huh. Right. So let's go to this Psalms real quick. 68 and 18. But there's another one I was thinking of in Isaiah. Psalm 68 and 18.
Psalms chapter 68 and verse 18. Thou hast ascended on high. Thou hast led captivity captive.
Mm-hmm.
Thou hast received gifts for men.
Uh-huh.
Yea, for the rebellious also.
Mm-hmm.
That the Most High power might dwell among them.
Right. So now it's giving us a little bit more edification on thou hast received gifts of men. Yea, for the rebellious. Right? So what was YAHAWASHI doing? And so much. I guess that's a trick question I just asked you. Let me just answer it because there's so much embodied in that question. We have to remember that Christ was a priest, eternal priesthood in the heavens, right? So the gifts that he offered, right, to the Most High for men was what?
Talents.
He offered himself.
Life.
Right. He offered himself, and in return, the gifts to man was what?
The laws.
Life, righteousness, holiness, grace, right? Those things. And the scripture I was thinking of, we're going to go to Hebrews, but I want you to read that Psalm 68 one more time.
Psalm chapter 68 and verse 18.
Uh-huh.
Thou hast ascended on high.
Right.
Thou hast led captivity captive.
Right.
Thou hast received gifts for men.
Uh-huh.
Yea, for the rebellious also, that the Most High power might dwell among them.
Right. So that the Most High might dwell among them. Because YAHAWASHI coming and dying for Israel, the Most High was giving his mercy to man to acknowledge them, right? So he wouldn't just wipe us off of the face of the earth. YAHAWASHI had to come and be that sacrifice, that eternal sacrifice. 81. Hebrews 81. Hebrews 81.
Hebrews chapter 8, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Now of the things which we have spoken, this is the sum.
Go ahead.
We have such an high priest, who is set on the right hand of the throne of the majesty in the heavens.
Right. So we went back to the Father. Go ahead.
A minister of the sanctuary.
Right. So he's a minister of the sanctuary, but not, we can't look at those gifts as being carnal. Let's be real. The gifts can't be carnal, right? Because we had to give our spirit. You present your body a living sacrifice. So remember, he's not referring to like the Old Testament. You would come and you actually had to bring something. These gifts were what? Your soul, your spirit, you, right? That you present your body as a living sacrifice, that you were a sweet savor unto the Lord. You're the sacrifice, right? Go ahead.
And of the true tabernacle.
Go. Okay, 2 again.
A minister of the sanctuary.
Right, a minister of the sanctuary. So remember, YAHAWASHI, going back to the Father, it says, "Thou hast received gifts of men, yea, for the rebellious also." Right? So now YAHAWASHI going and dying, giving us grace. The gifts that he's receiving is what? Us. Right? You present your body as a living sacrifice. Those souls. For who? The rebellious. Now the rebellious ones got to wake up and they got to what? Perform acts and things in righteousness to be acknowledged by the Most High. Right? It says, yea, for the rebellious also, that the Lord Yahweh might dwell among them. We want the Most High around us, then what do we got to do? We got to present the gifts, right? Holy and acceptable to the Lord, right? Those things the Most High want, which is, we know your spirit, your mind, right? Your body. You get that? This is what YAHAWASHI was doing. Go ahead.
A minister of the sanctuary. And of the true tabernacle.
Right, of the true tabernacle. Go ahead.
Which the Lord pitched. And not man.
Read.
For every high priest is ordained to offer gifts and sacrifices. Wherefore it is of necessity that this man have somewhat also to offer.
Right. Now jump down to verse 6.
Verse 6. But now hath he obtained a more excellent ministry. By how much also he is the mediator of a better covenant.
Right. Of a better covenant. Go ahead.
Which was established upon better promises.
Right. So, I mean, we've touched on this before, but without going too deep into this point, you see, is your question answered, right? Your question is in Ephesians. I'm reading it from Psalms because it brings out a little bit more of edification on the gifts, right? So that's why I'm reading it in Psalms. But you're in 4 and 8. When he ascended on high, he led the captives and gave gifts unto men, right? Who ascended on high? YAHAWASHI. Who did he lead captive? What?
I think I get it now. They're talking about a living sacrifice, so he's leading the captives, basically we're the captives.
Right.
Followers of him, followers of Christ.
Right.
So yeah, it makes sense now. I get why you.
I got it. Good. I'm glad you understand. Let me get another precept. This is Acts. It's one I used to pull a lot back when I was 17. It's Acts. It says there's a few of them, but the one I'm thinking of is in Acts. There's one in Isaiah. Let me find that real quick for you. It is. Oh man. Acts 30. It is. Oh, why can't I find the scripture here? Yeah, and I know the scripture. It says to open the eyes of the blind and to deliver them from darkness to light. It's 26. Yeah, 26 and 18. Read that. Start at 26 and 17.
Acts chapter 26 and verse 17. Delivering thee from the people and from the Gentiles, unto whom now I send thee.
Right.
To open their eyes and to turn them from darkness to light.
Right.
And from the power of Satan unto God.
Right. So deliver the what did it say? It says he led the captives captive, the captivity captive. Right. So what did he do? He freed us to open the eyes of the blind. We were slaves to what? What did he say? You were once Gentiles carried away. Right. So we were under that power of Satan. YAHAWASHI did what? Delivered us. Right. Yeah.
I had a question on the answer. The question is, doesn't the text answer itself if we read down with the Ephesians, like verse 11?
We're gonna go there. I was just trying to.
Oh, okay. That's why I was a question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna go there. We're gonna finish it. Because as you read down, it goes into it. But just to add the precepts, I wanted to get you to where they were quoting from. You see where he was quoting from? He was quoting from, where was it? Psalms 68 and 18. But yeah, it's all gonna come around. All right. Then the other one is in Isaiah 29 and 18.
Isaiah chapter 29, verse 18. And in that day shall the deaf hear the words of the book, and the eyes of the blind shall see out of obscurity, and out of darkness.
Right. So, and then you can go to Matthew's, right? What he said in Matthew's 10, he said to he said, go. He said, open the eyes of the blind, heal the sick, heal the maimed, right? All those things in Matthew's 10, 5, and what is it, 8 or somewhere? right? So you can add that to it. So let's go back to Ephesians. Go back to Ephesians.
Mm-hmm. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 8.
Uh-huh.
Wherefore he saith, when he ascended up on high, he led captivity captive, and gave gifts unto men.
Go ahead.
Now that he ascended.
Where did he say that? Psalm 68. Go ahead.
Now that he ascended, what is it but that he also descended first into the lower parts of the earth?
Right. So remember, his question is the captives in the captivity, right? Okay. Go ahead. Read on.
Verse 10. He that descended is the same also that ascended up far above all heavens.
Right. So we know YAHAWASHI went to the heavens of heavens, right? Go ahead.
That he might fill all things.
That he might fill all things. And then it goes down and it goes into the specifics of what he came to give us and lead us, how he gave us the ministry for perfecting. Right. And that goes into something else. But does that answer your question? Yeah. He led captivity captive and gave gifts unto men? Yeah. Or was it the ascension?
Oh, no, I knew the ascension.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Just to make sure. All right. Any other questions? Yeah.
We have one online from Samara. Ecclesiastes 1 verse 24.
Ecclesiastes. Mm-hmm.
She asks, what does it mean when it says he will hide his words for a time?
Ecclesiasticus 1 and 24. This is Ecclesiasticus, right? Go ahead, somebody read that.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 1, verse 24. He will hide his words for a time.
Okay, read 23, it's going to tell us.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 1, verse 23.
Mm-hmm.
A patient man will bear for a time.
Right.
And afterward, joy shall spring up unto him.
Right, so it's talking about a patient man, as opposed to the 22nd verse, a furious man can't be justified, right? For the sway of his fury shall be destruction. But a patient man, right? He's got to wait, right? He's got to be patient when he's put in a situation, right? Goes back to that Ecclesiasticus 2, right? Be patient when you're brought to a lower state. Constantly endure when you jump up to verse, where is it? Is it 22? No, it's 2, verse 2, right? Set thy heart aright, constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble. So you have a patient man will bear for a time. Why? Because he's building himself off of those essentials, right? I'm going to be patient when I'm brought to a lower state. I'm not going to panic. And then you jump down to 12 and 13. Woe to the fearful heart and faint hands. He's not going to go two ways, right? He's going to wait and be patient. Will bear for a time. Go ahead.
He will hide his words for a time, and the lips of many shall declare.
No. 23 again.
Verse 23. A patient man will bear for a time.
Right.
And afterward joy shall spring up unto him.
Right. The joy will spring up to him. Why? Man, the spirit be. Why? It's a way inside joke. Yeah.
Because he remained patient through that trial, through that test, to see the fruits of the Most High.
Yeah, he will remain patient. He won't panic. Usually what it is with a lot of brothers and sisters is that they go through the trial and they get weak before the precipice, the point to where this evolution in mind state increases them. They give up right at that point, so they never see what could be yielded from that, right? It usually is always like that. Go ahead.
Verse 24. Verse 24. He will hide his words for a time.
Right. So now we understand the context of what it's talking about. Right. He will hide his words for a time. Right. Meaning what? He doesn't have to always speak and always have to run his mouth. Right. He knows how to. Let me be patient. Let me hold my tongue. I don't always need to run my mouth. Right. You get in it. Not y'all. But I got to bring out the example because nobody really does it in here. But you get the one brother that always got to what? Say something. He always got to add to instead of listening. Right? And I'm going to say it again. Not y'all because y'all don't do it. And I'm about being for real. I'm not being facetious with that. Y'all don't do that. But you get that one guy that always got to say something instead of just being patient and listening and receiving what he's supposed to be receiving. Go ahead. So he will hide his words for a time. Go ahead.
And the lips of many shall declare his wisdom.
Why? Because he actually thought about what he was saying and held it and was patient instead of just blabbering something out. The more time you think about what you're going to say, right, and meditate on it, for a lot of people, some people speak so damn rashly, they don't even know what the hell they're talking about, right? It's showing you that those are the people that need to be patient and not be so quick to, I got to say something, I got to respond, right? This is applicable to every situation. You get in your house, right? And your rib says something and you want to what? Cut her off, right? Because you want to show, you know she's off, you know she's wrong, but you didn't hear the whole matter. You didn't hear the whole matter. So your wisdom ain't going to be declared. A lot of times you got to be patient because it'll be bubbling in you, right? You got to hold that. That's why I said he will hold his tongue. It'll be bubbling in you. Okay, you said that wrong. You lied on that. You didn't truly speak on that. And vice versa. It'd be the same way. She wants to speak because why? She got to justify herself, right? But he wants to speak because he wants to cut her. Right? The wisdom is not declared because of the lack of patience. Right? And now you're really just talking over each other, yelling over each other. So it shows both of you are what? Dealing foolishly, right? So that's what it means. Now, back to that was what happens when you don't apply that, right? But in applying this, it's saying, and the lips of many shall declare his wisdom. Now, because of his patience, people can say, you know what? Man, this dude's speaking wisdom. He's talking right. You know what I mean? She's saying something worth something, right? As opposed to when you speak rashly, what happens? You usually mess up. You usually say the wrong thing. You usually misspeak. You usually speak out of anger, right? Right. So that's what it's talking about. And then you can go, we can literally do a whole class on that one point right there about speaking rashly, about when to hold your tongue, when to speak. We were talking about it the other day about everything doesn't have to be, when we were counseling, everything don't have to be a engagement. Like somebody says something stupid or somebody asks you a question, you don't have to always be drawn into that. Right? How do we know that? Because that's what Christ did, right? Every question or every statement, was he drawn into it? Did just because, well, I gotta stand, the scriptures say stand both for the doctrine, huh? Kind. But it also says, right, there's gotta be a balance to everything. It ain't just one way. It is not just one way. It's us learning that, yes, stand both for the doctrine, but when you're overboard and all you're doing is jumping at things, you don't realize a lot of times how the situation can be dealt with, and that it could be dealt with in a different manner if you would have just listened, examine first, then rebuke, right? And that's usually our problem, right? We want to cut everybody up and get it out of the way, right? Send them to the Most High quick. All right, so hopefully that answers the question. If I go at precepts, we'll be here all night because I actually like that topic. Right? Any other questions? Okay. All right. So let's jump into this topic. We're going to touch over. Yeah, you know how this hour and a half is going to fly through, and Gamar is voting back in the 3-hour classes. He's been voting in these 3-hour classes every step. He's like, y'all need to go over questions, then go over the 2 hours class. You know what I mean? And I'm like, Gamar, bro, they fall asleep after 30 minutes. They get in yawning in your face. CHAAZAQYA, you done? That's all I need you to hear. I hear you say. You know what I mean? CHAAZAQYA, you done yet? Like, damn, y'all are cold. All right, we're going over. I can do all things through YAHAWASHI. Huh? No cuts here. All motivation. No spirit. It's going to be all spiritual motivation. And disclaimer: the Bible should motivate you, not me and my tone. This ain't about me. This is about the words of the Father and letting the words speak to you and motivate you. All right? And whatever you do, right? So let's just start out in the beginning. Go to Philippians 4:13. Why am I going over these scriptures? Is because it's a reminder. We got a brother going away. He's going to be on a ship for 6 months. It's to remind him, listen, you got the power. You got the strength. All you need to keep doing is keep that zeal and dedication, right? This is to certain of the kids that we deal with. They let school, people in school, determine their strength, right? In the spirit, in the mind, right? So it's not just. I'm telling y'all where this cast came from, so you won't think, oh, this was meant for me. Actually, it was meant for you, everybody. All right. So it ain't just one person. It's the spirit of the body, and we want to remind brothers and sisters, look, this is what the gospel says, and y'all got to keep in the right mind, so you won't fall weak to your weaknesses, right? So read that, Philippians 4:13.
Philippians chapter 4 and verse 13.
Go ahead.
I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me.
Right. I know if I ask you right now, how many of y'all believe that? Every hand will go up. I do, right? Until what? You do until what? The moment. A lot of times, right? A lot of times I can do everything until that trial happens. And it's usually something that is your battle, right? You know how we come to this evolution and be like, I don't understand why that's so hard. Well, that's not your battle. It's not hard with you because you got that under control, right? You hear me talk about the food and the drinking and the soda, like, that's not my battle. That's easy, right? But for somebody else, that's their battle, right? Like a real battle, right? And they feel like it's impossible to beat this. But we got to come back to the mind of Christ. You got to come back to the mind that the Father told us. We went over immaculate deception the other day, right? And what was one of the main points we touched on? That Christ had to be made like me and you to show this moment right here. He couldn't be a demigod. He couldn't be a superhero. He couldn't be having all this power and this unreachable level on earth, right? And then we would come back and say, well, man, YAHAWASHI, I can do all things through Christ, but not really though. Like he was like, look at him. This was the Christ. But no, you can do it. But that shows in this moment how many of us don't really believe, right? And if you come to terms with yourself to say, damn, my faith is low. My belief is really low because I don't believe that. You know what I mean? I know you want to believe it, right? this, right? But how many in that moment of being proved, you stood the course, you battled through it, you didn't panic, right? And now listen, for all the ones that's capping on yourself, don't act like it was the battle that you chose, right? Because the battle you chose is what? Oh yeah, I got that. You know what I mean? It's the battle the Most High chooses, right? It's the battle of the things that you really need to say, damn, I don't got control of this. It's those battles. Could you stomach through going through that and saying, you know what, I can do this. YAHAWASHI strengthens me. You know what I mean? He gave me the power. He gave me the mind. He gave me the logic. He gave me the thinking. And that's what we're talking about. Don't get on this Christian stuff. You know what I mean? Like I just say CHRIST and then right? Like, look, I can do it through his name. Like, what does that even mean? Like, you just spell it out and then boom, you do it? No. It's an embodiment of the thought process. It's the thought process is why you do it, right? So that's how we can do all things. The kids, y'all can do it in school, right? The wives, you can do it at home when the burden is on you, right? What do you say? It's too much. I can't do this, right? We talked about your repetitive mantras before. Like, I can't do this. Or another one, I don't know how they do it. They. Who's they? Some special people beyond you, right? Like, I don't know how they do it. Well, we all are coming up under this banner. And it's supposed to be what? I can do it. YAHAWASHI did it. I can do it. Let me stop telling myself things that can't be done and really put my mind in Christ and understand that I can achieve anything. So what's your battle? What are you battling? All right, let me reword that because nobody wants to share. Nobody might not want to share. What are men's and women's battle? How about the kids? What is y'all battle? What would be some of the kids' battles? Listen. All right, give me a little something more in depth. Yeah. Emotions, right? I can't control them. You know what I mean? Right? You get checked, and then you realize that I had women tell me before, so you just don't got no emotions. Right? Well, I learned how to compartmentalize the emotions. It's not that I don't got emotions, it's that, like, what's the point of tapping into these feelings when they're going to get me erratic, crazy, want to punch you in the face, want to choke you out, right? Want to get angry at this brother or sister. You see that? So what has to strengthen me? What has to barrel me through this to understand that I got power? Right? My superpower is YAHAWASHI. You see that? So emotions, what else? Come on, we got to get a little deeper? Yeah. Pride, right? Sometimes you feel like, damn, I've been like this. I can't change this. This is the way I am, right? At 15. And I can't change it. Y'all get like that. I get it when you're like 60 and 70. Man, I've been like this all my life. I get it a little bit, but even in them, they can change. Everybody can be changed. See, but could you apply the Christ mind? Y'all get this? Whatever that is, mute that. All right? So we got to see that. And I'm trying to apply this more than one area. I'm trying to get y'all to apply this in more than one area in this topic. I don't want to narrow it down to one thing. Because a lot of times people think I can do all things through Christ is that show up at the street speaking. That's what the Bible means. That I can do everything through Christ if I just show up at the street speaking. I show up at Sabbath class. I can do all things. I really don't want to show up at Sabbath class. It's only applicable there. Right? Only applicable when I'm around people. It don't got nothing to do when I go home and I'm angry and I got pride, I got jealousy, I got doubt, I got lack of faith. You see that? That's the wrong mind. This is supposed to be applied in every arena of your life. every battle in your life, right? Was that a hand raise, sis? What you got?
Samaria said slothfulness and not opening up.
You said who?
Samaria said.
Oh, I thought you said Gamaria. I'm like, this guy got spiritual problems already. What the hell? You put this in your mind? Right, Shamaria, what'd she say?
Samaria said slothfulness and not opening up when I need to.
Right, and a lot of y'all think you can't conquer that. Slothfulness and not opening up and not communicating, right? You can conquer it. I guess we could turn this around to if you want to conquer it, but this is not that class. This is a motivational class. You can do it. You understand? Okay, go back to Philippians. Go ahead.
Philippians chapter 4 and verse 13. I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me.
So does he strengthen you? Go to Isaiah 40 verse 29. How many of us think like this? YAHAWASHI is my strength. Right? Does anybody ever look at that and say, dang, YAHAWASHI went through it, I can go through it? Huh? There's no temptation. We went over this the other day. Because that's what Israel like to do. What? Well, you just don't understand what I'm going through. Right? Well, there's no temptation that has befallen man that's not common to man. So then that means what? Your disannulling of Christ in this arena is insane. Right? I want to disannul in this arena where the Christ mind can be applied. That's not true. Everything in life, we're supposed to be in the mind of YAHAWASHI. In walking, in talking, in acting, in dealing with our family, our household, our wives, our children, our inward man. YAHAWASHI is supposed to be there at every point to show us how to barrel through our depression, anxiety, right? Our lack of things. Right? Y'all do believe that, right? Okay, I just wanted to make sure you weren't so narrow-minded that, no, this only applies to when I'm teaching the word, or, you know what I mean, if I'm out there at the street speaking and I have to deal with somebody's mouth at the street speaking. I can get through that through Christ. This is applied to your whole life. You know what I mean? And I know some of y'all are like, what the hell does that mean? Well, some people think like that. That it don't apply in the brotherhood. It don't apply among us, right? You can conquer this at home, right? You don't like cooking, right? I just don't like cooking, right? Does it apply? Does Christ's mind apply to that or no?
It does.
I can do all things through Christ. Does it apply there or not? With the kids. When you're dealing with your kids and you lack patience, right? You lack patience. You got to watch that too, because they're going to remember those things. But when you lack patience with them, does the Christ mind come in and say, damn, YAHAWASHI didn't lack patience with the brothers, with Judas, with the Pharisees and the Sadducees, right? Is it applicable there? So I'm trying to knock down all that whack mentality and imagination that comes up to say, well, this is not applicable in this situation. This is a whole different situation. How does that apply? Right? That's the smart Israelites. So he strengthens us. Read that, 40 and 29.
Isaiah chapter 40, verse 29.
Go ahead.
He giveth power to the faint.
He what?
He giveth power to the faint.
Right?
And to them that have no might.
Yeah, you see that? He giveth power to the faint and to them that have no might. Right? You get in that, you get it. Why do you, there were so many scriptures I could throw in here, but it always happens. I was thinking of the comfort scriptures. Like the scripture, the Most High is the comforter. YAHAWASHI is the comforter. But how many of y'all look at it like that? Damn, that right now I'm weak, but he strengthens me. You know what I mean? And I personally think that a lot of people don't think about how it's applicable. go into your old mind. You don't say, well, Christ can be applied in this arena. What's that, sis?
The scripture I was thinking of with what you're saying, would it go with it?
Hold whatever you got. Okay, go ahead. Read on.
Come. And to them have no might.
Right, Gamar, let him in there.
He increases strength.
Right, and to them that what?
And to them that have no might, he increases strength.
Right, and to him that have no might, he increases strength. But how are you getting that strength? Somebody tell me. How are you pulling that strength from the gospel, from the word? Huh? Go ahead, sis. Applying it? Okay. But give me an instance. Show me an instance that where you can say you apply, I can do all things through Christ. Give me one. Give me one you did today. Okay, with Josiah, what?
As we all know, he's not as verbal as others, and I couldn't understand what he was saying. He was getting frustrated. I had to revert to understanding YAHAWASHI, his patience.
Right.
So when you said that earlier, I'm like,
It hit you right on point.
yeah.
Right, you got to apply that. Because he needs to see your love in what you're doing, above all, right? Being patient with him, right? But who else? Who got something else? How is this mind when you're faint? How do you get locked into the spirit and say, you know what? I'm weak now, but I can battle this.
You got to first believe it. Like when the scripture says, "He that believeth on me."
You like on the road tonight. He got to first what?
You got to first believe it.
Remember that, right?
Yeah.
You got to first believe it.
Yeah.
You got to believe what you're doing. You got to believe in what you're doing. Or else it's what? It's somebody else gassing you up. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of brothers and sisters get gassed up. We believe it, so our motivation and our zeal, you be like, man, this cat is hype about this. But you're like, I'm not so hype. I'm not, yeah, I feel what you're saying. That's not where I'm at mentally. Right? Because a lot of people don't see that YAHAWASHI has to, you have to jump on his shoulders and let him take you through. Right? You have to get your strength from him. Everything he's been through. Right? So, once again, I want y'all to answer the question. I'm going to get y'all to talk tonight on the Shabbat. Right? I'm going to get y'all to talk. No tiredness here. Alright? How do you barrel through in those moments and knowing that Christ is your strength? How? Give me an instance. Show us that you're battling, that you know how to do it. Right? Who else? Who got some? Any instance. You see why hands? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I just had one here just before I came, where I had to go. I was sleeping first, but I had to go way to this side of town.
Right. The brother sent the wrong text out.
Oh yeah, the brother wasn't there.
And then he had you drive all the way to his house.
And I'm like,
I missent the text out.
this that bull, but I'm like, let me make sure my mind.
Right.
Let me make sure my mind is right.
Because we know he's an older brother. He takes his medication.
Right.
And when you take that medication, it gets you a little bit out of it.
Yeah, I wasn't disappointed in him. I'm like,
What were you disappointed at?
Because I was in my sleep, and I had a few more.
A few more minutes of sleep.
And I had to go over there, so I'm like, okay.
So how did I Can Do All Things help you in this faint moment?
Well, I understand I had to be in the right mind with the Most High and to say, my body is the sacrifice, and I'm here for the ministry anyway, so.
Right.
I got to move around with the ministry.
Right. And then you realize that it's not personal. It's moments like that that's a setup. It's literally a setup. Because do you think the brother was at home and like,
Nah.
watch this. He gonna come all the way down here. You know what, man? I missed that text. Do you think he's doing that at home?
Nah.
That's how it was a setup for you. See, it's moments like this that Israel don't understand that Satan is like, look, watch. I'm going to show you something, Yahweh. Look at him. Look at her. She don't believe. Watch how she panic. Watch how she loses faith. Watch how she backs out. Watch how he gets weak, right? They don't really believe. Let me at him. The only reason why he's listening is because you're protecting him. Let me at him. Let me touch him a little bit. Right? That's how it works every time. And if you don't have the right mind, every little moment can vex you, irritate you, frustrate you. Every little battle. You know what I mean? Now check this out. It was a battle. Yeah, like battle. But hold on. It was a light touch, but it was a touch. It was like, what? This is book. You know what? That's not the right mind. Right? Imagine just saying, oh damn, brother might have got it wrong. He might have sent the text out bad and then went and you just turn around. Without that thought even bothering you. Right? Well, that's where we're trying to get to. We're all trying to get through that in some aspect. But that Spirit of Christ got to be in us to remind ourselves what? You know what I mean? These things, when I'm faint, when I'm weak, when I can't battle through things, YAHAWASHI is my strength. Right? He went through way more than me. Y'all hear me say it a lot of times, the apostles, right? We're like low-level apostles. You ain't getting beat. You ain't getting spit on. You ain't getting cast into prison. And I know, regardless of what you think, you're like, well, brothers are getting cast into jail. No. They're getting cast into jail because they don't got no wisdom. So you're like, well, you just annulling their back. Bro, a foolish man is going to be brought up and cast into jail if you're going to argue with police officers. Anybody can do that. So I can go right out on the street right now and argue with a cop and you say, well, he's doing the work of the Lord because he got cast into jail? No. Bro, he put himself in jail. I'm talking about really, you're out there abiding in the standard, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and then somebody throws you in jail or beats you or stones you because you're just literally teaching the word of the Most High. So it's things like that. We got to realize that we haven't striven against sin, you know what I mean, to blood, right? It hasn't been the case. You see that? So I know we can keep going on this, but let's get some more scriptures. Go ahead. Read that one more time. Isaiah 40 and 29.
Isaiah chapter 40, verse 29.
Go ahead.
He giveth power to the faint.
Right.
And to them that have no might.
Right. So you got to believe that. You got to understand that YAHAWASHI gives you the power, you being faint. You got to realize he is the comforter. Right? And if you abide in his word, in his method, right, in his solution, the way to disannul that flare up, right, then you're applying the Christ mind. Because if not, everything's going to irritate you, right? Everything's going to be a reason not to fight. Everything's going to be a reason not to do the will of the Most High, right? Everything is a reason. How many times that's happened? That situation with Asa, Rakama, you've been here for over 3-some years, right? How many times has that happened to you? About going to do a ride, and then the ride was called off because something else happened? How many times, though? Think about that. In your 3 years' time, just 3 years. How many times that can happen? And she could have used that and said, you know what? This is garbage. These guys don't care. This brother doesn't care. Right? But every time, I guarantee you, it had a reason why these things happen. So these things, it's not only the right thing. Remember, don't get narrow-minded on me. It's things like that constantly try to poke at you to reveal if you do believe Christ is your strength. Or if your emotion, your pride, your doubt, your anger, your way is the strength. right? And it reveals us. When we lash out and lose it, we lose control. So YAHAWASHI got to be your strength when you get faint, right? When you doubt, when you get weak, when you get feeble, right? Go ahead, read on.
He increases strength. Verse 30.
Right. He increaseth strength. That's sometimes it's so straight to the point it might seem so easy, but yet sometimes so shallow. See, Jesus increases strength. Well, how does he increase strength, y'all? How does he increase strength? What? Jesus increases strength through the Father. That's a t-shirt. Okay, what does that mean? How does he increase strength? What?
It means the life that he lived, that we really believe in him. And we go through the scriptures.
Right.
Like even when he prayed, he said, if you take this cup from me, but thy will be done. So
right.
Sometimes we got to do things that we might not want to do, but YAHAWASHI showed us that first.
Right.
So
right.
That's how you get strengthened, because you look at this man who was tempted every single way we was tempted, right? So then that's the mind that we gotta have if we try to really overcome these different obstacles and these different tests,
right?
To get the reward.
These different battles, these different things we go through. It's gotta be like scripture. I know it sounds like, well, is it that easy? Yeah, it is. Because are you acknowledging the Christ died for you on the cross and gave you grace? He didn't do that for nothing. We just read it earlier. He did that so you can see his example how to walk, that you can do it. He did it. Y'all get that? Zechariah 10 and 12. Zechariah 10 and 12. Once again, man, you got a lot of weak brothers and sisters that become faint in the smallest situations. In the smallest situations that don't know, damn, how do I tap into the source? Go ahead, read that.
Zechariah chapter 10, verse 12. And I will
Shunny Bun had it way before anybody. Go ahead.
Zechariah chapter 10, verse 12. And I will strengthen them in the Lord.
Right.
And they shall walk up and down in his name.
Yeah, we want to walk in the name of the Most High. Right? We want to say we're believers, we're Israelites. Man, you can't be a Pharisee. A Pharisee doesn't apply. Right? The strength comes in the application. Right? Who studies martial arts, goes out in the street, and starts swinging like a girl? Right? There's no strength in that. You literally did all that for nothing. So the strength comes in the application, in the moments. You want to walk in the name of the Most High, where's the strength at? Where's the fight at? Like, brothers and sisters, where's the fight at? And that's why we got to go to what again? You fought in the world. Think about the things you fought in the world for. Right? We were talking about no names, somebody today. We were like, man, if this person, man, it's funny, because if they was working with Israel and it came to the overtime, they swear they got to get a head transplant, a neck transplant, a back transplant. Y'all working me too hard. But with Esau is what? They'll barely make one day of class. It be so much cap in Israel. It be so funny. And it's almost comical, but it's not. It's sad. Because when it comes to Israel, it comes to the Most High, it comes to the ministry, you do the bare minimum and you complain about it. But when it comes to Esau, oh, I got to do overtime. Y'all don't understand that? I got to do overtime and the overtime and the overtime. I'm going to get there, but I got to do this. I got to do that. But with Israel is what? You know what I mean? Bro, y'all working me too hard. Y'all want too much. Y'all want too much dedication. Right? It's comical, but sad. The sad comical way. That we got to see that the same strength you gave to the world, you got to tap into the Father and battle the battle go through the battle, the fight. Y'all get this? Because it's always a battle. It's always going to be a fight, man. To apply, to achieve, to conquer, right? Whatever it is your battle is, the things that you, I'll put it like this. Who has a battle? Okay, y'all got me. You know that was a trick question, right? I was waiting for the one not to raise his hand, not to raise her hand. I ain't got no battle. Oh, really? It's easy for you then. Then you ain't in the fight. Y'all got me, man. I was trying to catch y'all. Right? Read that one more time. Then go to Psalm 29. Go ahead.
Zechariah chapter 10, verse 12. And I will strengthen them in the Lord. And they shall walk up and down in his name.
Yeah, man. We walk up and down in the Most High's name. Why? But what are we walking up in his name and how we look? Right? We sad. Right? You got too many sad brothers and sisters. Remember, walking up and down in his name, what is he saying? Meaning that we got confidence. Right? We got boldness in the spirit of the Most High. That we know that the Most High is with us. That's why you can't do anything doubting. You can't do anything double-minded. Because you can see it in your whole vibe. Like you're unsure, right? You're unfaithful, right? You're fighting and struggling. And we're getting to those days, man. Back when I came in, it was all about pushing somebody. No, man, you got to do this, bro. You're going to do this. Let's fall in line. It was all about the push. Nowadays, it's like, do you want to do that? Nope. All right, step aside. Let's get somebody that wants to. The days of like, brother, you're going to be a priest. You know what I mean? There was days like that. Not the gun to the head, but it was like, fall over. We gonna study our test. Like you had to, it was brothers more motivating brothers. And I'm not saying we don't motivate each other now, but now it's like, okay, we motivated you. We held your hand. We wiped your butt. And you still what? I don't see it. Don't see it? Okay. Like, what else do you want then? Like, you have to find the strength in YAHAWASHI. You know what I mean? You got to find it. Like, we can't puppet master you. No matter how much anybody tries, it doesn't work. I guarantee you. You know what I mean? All the motivational speeches we be giving, all the motivational classes, all the looking in their eye and feeling their vibe and spirit, they're still looking at you like, yeah, nope. Good class, but nah, I don't feel it yet. Could you go a little deeper? Could you give me one more scripture? Right? So we got to walk up and down in this strength. Psalm 29 and 11.
Psalm chapter 29, verse 11.
Right?
The Most High will give strength unto his people.
Go ahead.
The Most High will bless his people with peace.
You see that? The strength is going to give you peace. It's going to give you peace. I know for a lot of people they ain't seeing it. Why? Because you never gave yourself and covered yourself under the shadow of the Lord to see that, damn, there is strength in him. There's a power in locking into the spirit and applying the Bible. A lot of brothers and sisters don't get that, right? Because their old method to them is easier. The old way to them is easier. But there's strength in the Lord, and that strength brings peace. Peace of what? Peace of mind. Right? Because usually the ones that don't have any strength, they're doing what? They quit. They lose patience. Right? They have anxiety. Right? Man, anxiety is an Esau trait. You've been in slavery for 400 years. What you waiting for? You've been in slavery. Your people have been in slavery for 400 years. What are you talking about? You got anxiety. You're just repeating what the white man told you, bro. Stop it. You know what I mean? You ain't had none all your life. That's what keeps me in the right mind. I'm like, I ain't never had nothing when I was a kid. So if I don't get it now, okay. If I get it, con. If I don't, I don't. That's how it be. Ask brothers, man. When my cars broke down, guess what I was doing? I was riding with brothers. It's not cap. I was rolling with brothers. I wasn't like, damn, the Most High won't give me a car, man. I'm the priest. This ain't right. I was like, cool. Whether I base, I'm abound. I'm like, I'm still moving. I still got to do what I got to do. All the other things, I never had anyway. We grew up broke. But we got too many entitled Israelites, right? That are pushing for the wrong thing and motivated by the wrong thing. Right? The strength and the peace comes through Yahweh. Jeremiah 32:27. Read that.
Jeremiah chapter 32, verse 27.
Go ahead.
Behold, I am the Lord, the God of all flesh. Is there anything too hard for me?
Right. I love that scripture. Is there anything too hard for the Most High? How many of us look at the Father as the connect? Right? Right? You know what I mean? You look at the Father as the connect. You know what? I don't got this. I need this. Let me go to the cat that can supply it. Right? But a lot of us are still thinking what? I do it. I'm God. You know what I mean? I'm God. I got it. I got it before. And you're not seeing, man, that the Father has been there all along taking care of us. Right? So there's nothing too hard for the Most High, y'all. You got to get rid of that mind that things are unachievable. Battles can't be conquered. You can't get through it. You can battle it. You can get through it. You can overcome it, whatever it is. Especially y'all kids, man. There's no way you should be saying, man, is there any return? Could I change? You're 15. Right? If we got to know that at 40 and 50 years old, at y'all age, y'all should know, okay, this is the best time to know there's change. Because if I keep this stubborn, rebellious, stiff-necked, hard-headed spirit around me, it might just stick to me forever. Right. So I can do this through YAHAWASHI, but I got to look at his humility. I got to look at how he walked and how he humbled himself. You see how this ain't just about one thing. This is about the kids applying it, the brothers applying it, the sisters applying it at home, and understanding whatever your battle is, you got it. You can do it, but you got to believe. You can't have always somebody there. Hey, yeah, well, you know what I mean? Yeah, Rocky, you're a bum, Rocky. You're a bum. You know what I mean? You always can't have somebody there doing that. Give me that real quick. Seek out his own soul salvation. Give me that real quick. All you scholars, all you biblical gangsters, you know what I mean? Give me that scripture real quick. Huh? You want to pull the scripture? Huh? Give me that one real quick. Find that one for me. Find this one real quick. But this is an important thing y'all got to understand. Y'all hear us say it all the time. We're together. We're a body. The Most High ordained it. The head, the arms, the legs, the eyes, the body. We're all important. But each individually, you have your purpose. You have your office. You have your battle. You only going to be in the spirit when a brother's watching over you? That's it? Nah, bro. You got to mature. You got to grow up. Especially, I guess that's the wrong way to put it. I'm going to say more so you men that are achieving to be priests. What happens when you put it in another city, in another state, and say, okay, run this school. You going to need somebody there? Now you free, you might just touch on every woman in the congregation? Huh? You might just slide in the bank account and take, right? Slide in the alms and thieve. Like, you got to have somebody always watching you. You should already know the Father's watching all of you. All of us, right? So you get it? Read, where are we at?
Philippians chapter 2 and verse 12.
Go ahead, read that. Uh-huh.
Philippians chapter 2 and verse 12.
Go ahead.
Wherefore, my beloved,
right?
as ye have always obeyed,
right?
Not as in my presence only.
Yeah. It don't supposed to be just in the presence of brothers, just in the presence of your husband. Now when I get around the sisters, I'm going to act stupid, act a fool. Right? Now when I get at school for the kids, I'm going to get around everybody and act stupid. I'm going to be this different person. You have to understand that you are accountable for your spirit. Right? For yourself. So you need YAHAWASHI to be that strength. It can't be, yes, the Bible says, woe to him that is left alone. When he falls, who would be there to pick him up? His brother's there, right? He said, and I was reading it the other day in Mark, he said, go out in twos, 2 and 2. He didn't say 1 and 1. He said 2 and 2, right? His brother's there. What? Got his back. The husbands got the wives got the husbands. Right? Huh? Okay, but what about when you are alone? Huh? And it's you in the porn hub. Who's gonna battle? Who's strengthening you to fight that battle? You know what I mean? Is it Satan? Or is it the Most High? See, that's why the scripture said if you faint in the day of adversity, your strength is small. Right? Your strength is small. So where's your strength at? It can't always be through the rebuke. You need to get checked, but damn, you got to get checked through everything. What happened to you checking yourself in the spirit and the strength of the Lord and saying, no, wait a minute, that's off. That's wrong. That's the wrong mind state. YAHAWASHI got my back. Let me not panic. Let me not give up. Okay, where you at? Oh, yeah, read where you at. Read on. Sorry.
But now much more in my absence.
Right.
Work out your own salvation. With fear and trembling.
There you go. Well, how are you going to be able to do that? You got to remember who you're plugged into. We always talk about this all the time. Yes, your brother's there for you, but who are we supposed to be plugged in? The Father. Right? YAHAWASHI. Cursed be the man that put his trust in man and make his flesh his arm. Right? It ain't man. That ain't talking about, hey, I don't need a brother. It's talking about what? In these weak times and these things when you need strength, did you build up that strength through the Father? That's what it's talking about. Everybody always want to use that wrong. See, that means you don't need brothers. That's like totally against the Bible. You know what I mean? That's not what it means. It means that you put in your confidence and you got to rely on these spiritual things all the time for a man to remind you. What the hell is that? Like, where's your strength level at? Where's your strength meter at? So, for the brother that's going away for 6 months, this is it. YAHAWASHI has been putting and instilling this in you. You know what I mean? In every step of the way, the tools are given to you. Now it's on you. You kids that go to school, daily y'all giving wisdom from your parents and your father and your mother. Right? So who you gonna be when you go to school? Right? Where's the strength at? So this is what we gotta understand, man. Sisters, when you go to work, all of a sudden you Shaniqua now. You no more Rahama, you what? Shabamba. You got gum in your mouth, you talking with your hands, right? You like, girl, you're like, wait a minute, now you're a backbiter, you talking behind people back at work, and it's like, what happened? You were supposed to be a Hebrew Israelite the whole time, right? We deal with sisters over there at the kiosk, and sisters is like, man, sometimes sisters still don't know how to function with the Bible in the world. They still don't know how to react. It's like, wait a minute, should I smack this dude? Should I just let off on this monkey, or should I apply the Bible? But you were supposed to know, I got to apply the Bible. Right? The sister was told the other day, girl, what do you tell her? I'll wipe this oil all over your body.
That's what he said.
He said, I'll wipe this oil all over your body. The sister didn't even know how to act. I'm like, sis, you've been trained up. We literally have training classes. Yeah, and you don't pay for them. They don't pay for them. It's free. We train classes to show sisters how to apply the Bible in this chaotic arena. So, where's the strength at? Where's everything you've been given? Y'all see that? You gotta start applying these things now, right? So seeking out your own soul salvation, right? Go ahead.
For it is the Most High which worketh in you,
right?
Both to will and to do of His good pleasure.
Check that out. He said it is, right? I'm saying it is. Is it? Because it almost be like that. It's like, dang, y'all gotta still, YAHAWASHI is always with you. Your husband ain't. Your brother ain't. Your father ain't. Your mother ain't. But YAHAWASHI is, the Most High is always there. So you locking in Him, you always got access to the power. Y'all get that? Because who's the power? Who? Who's the power? Yeah, YAHAWASHI. Yahweh is the power, right? So we got to lock into the power, the source. We're done with that. Let's jump over to Romans 8:37. It's so much. I be trying to rush through these scriptures because we can edify. I do want to communicate, but we also want to get a lot of these out. Reminder, the word. Like, look, it's written, right? Philippians, that was 2 and what? 12. Okay, go ahead, read that.
Romans chapter 8, verse 37. Nay, in all these things, we are more than conquerors.
You know what? Let's read that. Might as well. This is what we're talking about. Romans 8:35.
Romans chapter 8, verse 35. Who shall separate us from the love of Christ?
Right. Now, don't always think about this as the end-all, be-all. Like, this scripture only applies to me leaving off of the truth and smoking crack. Like, no. Let's apply it in these little battles. Because that's what this is about. Because if you're losing all the little battles, what you going to do with the big battle? You're going to lose. Or the big, what is it, battle war? You're going to lose the big war, right? Y'all got to understand that. So don't just look at this scripture as, that only applies to the end-all, be-all battle. No. There's little battles. There's little things you go through daily in your life, right? In your household, with your family and your kids. Let's apply it to that. Go ahead.
Shall tribulation?
Right, there you go. And the Bible is applying it for us. Where does tribulation happen? Does it only happen here from like 7 to 9? No, it's usually after that, all day, every day, in moments in your life in battle. Huh?
I said, I wish it only happened 7 to 9.
Right? It'd be easy. Because I can point it all out. Right? But it don't work like that. Who shall separate us from the love of Christ? So tribulation, read.
Or distress.
Right. So where's this tribulation happening? From one instance, for you and your rib, it's happening with the dang landlord. That's your tribulation, right? For another instance, wait a minute, it's happening with your landlord? Wait a minute, why is this going on? Right, it's happening with your landlord, right? Another instance, it might be the brother's health, right? Right? Well, everybody goes through these tribulations in certain arenas, right? Another thing, it might be, with Zechariah, it might be at school. It might be a tribulation and a battle, a trial that is trying to do what? Burn you the hell up? Burn your faith up? burn your strength up. Y'all see this? And when is Christ, I'm going to let you come in, when is Christ separated from you in that moment? When you abandon ship and you panic. Where?
I have a question towards that. Trials, tribulations. What is it called when it is at your hand? And what is it called when it's of the Lord?
Yeah, we talk about this a lot. That's one of my favorite points. I always tell brothers, don't create things in your life and talk about, man, I'm catching it for Yahweh. No, you're getting checked. It's called correction, right? It's called punishment for wickedness that you do. And now you got to learn from your mistakes. That's what that is. That ain't trial and tribulation. And I'm glad you pointed that out. But this is a motivational class tonight. It's, you can do it, right? That's what this class is about. You know what I mean? We're going to get to that part. We're going to get to that part next week, right? But truthfully, no, for real, you're right. A lot of times they create these things and then act like, what? Oh, I'm going through it for YAHAWASHI. No, you created that. That baby mama that's taking your check, you know what I mean, that is disgruntled as hell, that's what you set up. Don't try to act like, you know what I mean, yeah, man, going through it for YAHAWASHI. No, you're going through it for your lack of control of your private part, right? You don't know how to put on a condom. That's why you're going through that. You know what I mean? But in many instances, how many other instances brothers create the things? I like the ones where, and this is not a shot, but brothers be getting fired. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that because brothers, you know what I mean? I'm saying that brothers be getting fired, but they be at work, disgruntled as hell, disrespectful. Yeah, white man, it's like, brother, you don't know how to control your mouth. You come late. You know what I mean? You're disrespectful. You trying to teach the Bible to everybody at work that don't believe in the Bible, and then you're talking about, man, the devil's on me. No. The dummy's on you. You're not using the wisdom correctly. You created it. So, very good point. Go ahead, read on.
Or persecution.
Right, or persecution. Right? You standing for something right, and you're being looked at or brought down to a lower state for standing in confidence. How many of you kids go through that? Like what Ma Wallace said the other day, right? They want to look at the fringes. They want to always ask questions, right? You want to get persecuted, right? How many of y'all dealing with your parents, your households, right? Trying to keep the laws and commandments. You're being persecuted for that, right? Looked down upon. You're in a cult, right? Well, where's your strength at through that? You know what I mean? How many of y'all that still messes with your conscience and hurts your feelings? Right? But there's some sisters still what? Some brothers still what? Well, Mama said Con, I hear what you're saying, but in the back of his mind is like, well, Mama said though. And I'm not talking about you 15-year-olds. I'm talking about grown-ups that still like listening to Mama's bad wisdom and understanding and their lack of logic and their ridicule, right? Their persecution. Y'all see this? You see how we haven't even touched on you teaching the word and they yelling at you or throwing things at you and being persecuted for that? This is the battles we're going through. Let's be real. Let's be real. You ain't even street seeking yet. You ain't even sharing the word. Some of y'all sisters don't even share the word. So you ain't even being persecuted because of that. You're being damn persecuted because the Most High is going to put you through a battle and prove you either way. You ain't going to escape this. But those little moments, what's still on your conscience where now you want to create other commotion around you because, you know, Mom is poking at you. My rib is poking at me, so you know what? I'm gonna come up with this. You still gonna mess around with them? You still gonna do this? It's like, okay. You trying to wear at me. You trying to persecute me because I'm doing what's right. No. I gotta stay the course. I gotta battle through this. Go ahead.
Or famine.
Or what?
Or famine.
Right? Oh, we talked about that before. How many of us is quick to abandon ship when that stomach look like it might get a little slimmer? You know what I mean? You finna lose a little bit of weight. You're like, I gotta rethink this, huh? You know what I mean? I don't know about this, right? Tell me, what is that applicable to? Somebody apply that to our everyday life. The family. Like, are us ready to separate from the Christ mind because of family? How is that applicable with us? Yeah. Because, let me say this before you go. You would eat the genetically modified food before you go on a diet. So, to you, ain't no famine. But you know, we're in a literal famine. Like, a lot of the food we eat is genetically modified. But you ain't worried about that. You go eat that genetically modified food before you get slim, right? So how does it apply to you? How does that apply? The famine part.
Famine. When you lose means to get food, when you lose means to get things that you think you need but you really want.
There you go.
Separating, do you need it? Do you want it? And
see, that's a father talking. That's a grown man talking. You know why? Because it's only at that point a mature man really realizes, like, do I need this right now? You know what I mean? The kids are what? They're like, they'll buy the new shoes, buy the sneakers, buy this, buy that. And it's like, but you ain't paid the bills yet. You know what I mean? But the grown man understands what? Do I need this right now? You know what I mean? It's like when the kids, they want to go out all the time to eat. It's like, bro, we got food in the refrigerator. Y'all trying to hit me for $75 a pop between all of us. You see, they don't understand. Listen, no, we got to conserve with wisdom. Right? Yeah.
And even with needs, like, a trial comes on when you can't pay your needs, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I like that.
Bills. Can you think ahead? Do you have faith that you can't pay it now, but you're going to get back, the Most High is going to bring it back?
Right. Right.
That can be a trial.
There you go.
Can you keep your mind still in the Most High and still in the faith that it's getting hot, the room's getting hot,
right?
But the AC's going to come back.
There you go.
In your life.
I like that. We always talk about the wives abandoning you or women abandoning men because they lost their job or they can't pay the light bill. You know what I mean? Like you're in your battle, right? Right? And then you're really like, man, you lost your job. I can't deal with you. Like there's no more love. There's no more strength in Christ. Who's fighting for us? Where's my strength in? You see that? But you brought it out perfectly. I can't even add to that. That's beautiful. Go ahead.
Or nakedness.
Or what?
Or nakedness.
Yeah. Like CHAAZAQYA always talked. Back in the world, he got all these old shoes from back in the days. But his new shoe collection ain't nowhere near as high as when he was in the world. Right? Because he can't floss. He can't live like he used to. Why? Because you're living off of the gospel. You're living off of a whole different measure of work, right? It's like that. You know, and even if you did have a regular job, you're still taking sacrifices, right? There's still things you're doing that you have to say, damn, I can't do like I used to do no more, right? You know, just you coming up here every weekend or other weekend. That's a sacrifice. Money. You know what I mean? You said, nah, I want to be around and congregate with brothers and sisters. I'm in Delaware, but you know what? I got to set this money aside to make sure I make it up there. You see, it's a sacrifice, right? Everything takes a sacrifice. Y'all, brothers and sisters, come down and say, you know what? Internet is good, but I need to be around brothers and sisters. Woe to him that is left alone, right? Let me get around and start feeling some of this heated fire. So Bakar and them what? Come down, right? But it was a sacrifice. But we've all done that. And we've all locked into, forgot about Asa. I'm looking right at him. Asa too. Say, you know what? Nah, let me change up an environment. This environment I grew up in, let me come down and switch up a mode. And dive in with these brothers out here. Right? It's a sacrifice, but what did you do it for? That is a good question. Very good question. That's always the question. What did you do it for? And if it is for the Most High, then your strength has to be strong when you go through these battles and understand that I know how to get through them. And that's what you can't forget on the ship for 6 months. I know how to go through it. I know how to stay in the spirit and be brought low and go through these situations and not all of a sudden now, nobody's looking, abandon ship. Nah. I got to still lock into my strength, YAHAWASHI. Who can separate me? Nothing. Nothing can separate me. All these things he's naming anyway is temporary. Who goes through tribulation forever? I know it's, don't do it, Israel.
Don't answer that question.
You're right, don't answer that question. Because there's some people that what? I'm going to go back to him. If you're that person that says you've been catching hell for 10 to 20 years, then you need to recheck your life. Because the Father don't do that. He dips you and pulls you out. If you catching hell and always catching hell for the 20 years of your life, you're doing something wrong. So you got to see that. It doesn't work like that, man. The Most High is going to give us strength, right? In nakedness, in famine, in persecution. Go ahead.
Or peril.
Peril, right? Putting yourself in predicaments and situations that what? Might be harming. Like you said, this looks like it's a harming situation. It's going to cut down on my money every week. And I know it's so petty, but come on, let's be real. Israel's petty, right?
It's still there, though.
Yeah, it's still there. It's like, damn, I'm spending this money to go down, but for what cost? Is the cost or the value of what you're doing more, you know what I mean, worth more, right? You see that? It's little things like that you got to look at. And people don't see that. They don't say, wait a minute, YAHAWASHI is my strength. I'm going to get more strength, right? This thing that I'm letting deter my mind from the path and motivation and dedication. And whatever arena it is, pick your arena. I can't let that happen, right? Yeah.
It's like for example, Passover, right? Even last year, there was a problem getting the Passover.
Right.
Everything that you plot and plan in your head, right?
Yeah.
Apart. So this Passover, we're in the airport. As soon as we miss a couple flights, we talking. I'm like, yo, this is just ain't even nothing to even stress about. This is just the devil.
Yeah.
It's the devil. Everything is set.
Yeah.
The devil don't want you to have this. Everything is set.
Right.
To put a stumbling block, to
Yeah.
deter you.
To mess up your whole Passover.
Out, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, whatever happened, we just gonna figure it out.
Right.
Even with that, I knew if we don't catch this flight and the tickets fall through, right? I knew there was a chance that the whole traveling would throw a whole wrench, which it ended up doing. But I knew that before before we even drove.
You knew it was a pass. You knew it was a buddy pass.
It was a chance, but even with the driving, because the consequences of driving back, the time that was lost. It took too long to get back.
Right.
But I knew that before we left. When it ended up we had to drive, I knew in my mind this is going to be going to be a roll of the dice. But it's worth it. Is it?
Is it worth it?
It's worth it.
A lot of people is not worth it. A lot of people like the battle, the fight, right? The treasure of what you're supposed to be learning is really not worth it. You know what I mean? And that's what you got to come to terms with yourself. Everybody has to understand that. That's what you got to come to your terms. Like, we can't, bro, you going to come out here, give us your card, we going to get you. Like, we can't do that. And that's not done. It's got to be on you. We keep touching this. The law keeps touching on it. Free will. You know what I mean? Because if not, what happens? That good could be turned into evil. You could have been vexed the whole Passover. You know what I mean? A lot, bro, I paid for the buddy pass, didn't get on the buddy pass, paid for the flight, and it's just like my Passover, man. Nah, you know how many people act like that? Yeah, exactly. They're like, this is like, bro, man, my whole Passover's messed up. It's like, what? What are you talking about? You're a drama queen, bro. Stop. You're here. Let's focus in on the spirit of the Most High. But I'm glad we're putting in reality. So you won't act like this is so far the peril. Like it only applies to being stoned, you know, when you're at the street speaking or preaching the word of the Lord. No, the peril is in your life. And you, a lot of times, abandon faith in the moments. And that's not good. Because you're training yourself to be like that in the last times. Right? Go ahead.
Or sword.
Or sword. We know that, you know. We get in these areas and we do pass out flyers and it's like they told y'all last week, what? Oh, you know where you at? You're like, they out here shooting and it's like, bruh, we ain't thinking about nobody shooting. You know what I mean? We thinking about listen, how many people can we teach? Right? We don't care about the sword and then the threatening the sword. Y'all be careful over here. Like, literally, if the one day we come out, I catch a straight bullet, let's be real. It was meant, right? Like, let's be real about it. The one time we go to the real hood, right? That's how he said, right? It's hood over here. Like, we got to be scared when we go up in there? No, it's like, bro, we ain't doing nothing. Do we look like we selling drugs or a dance group? Like, exactly. They look at us as a dance group. So they're not going to be like, you know what? Who those rappers? Let's kill them. You know what I mean? Who's that dance group? Fever, you know, they're not going to do that. So there's no reason to fear. There's no reason to lose your strength and your motivation. But does it happen? I know I'm making it sound easy and it sound like, well, wait, yeah, No, but it happens. Israel what? Panics in the small moments. The car ride. Somebody would start breathing all hard in the car. Like, I came all the way over here. Y'all sent me all the way over here. You know how many times that happened? Y'all brothers sent me all the way over here to get a ride. Oh, don't never send that brother for a ride ever again until he crawls the hell up. Don't never send. It be like that. They don't know what they're here for. The ministry, the helping, the body. And in these moments, what reveal that when they get in the fire? Because they abandon Christ, the Christ mind, the Christ spirit, the Christ way. Y'all get that? Go ahead.
As it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long.
Now, you know that's in parable form, because they weren't hanged. They weren't hanged daily. Even though through the trials and being stoned and shipwreck and all these things Paul's talking about, they weren't literally stabbed and died or head chopped off and died. What was he saying? This is the life we live. And how the hell do I get through it if YAHAWASHI is not my strength, my motivation, my I see brothers, you're like, I don't even think y'all care or account brothers. Like, damn, how do you do it? But you can't do that to Christ. I get it. You look at us and be like, damn. You don't say, damn, how you been in for 30-some years? How did you make it? I had two brothers ask me that at the Passover. They were like, what made you last so long? You know what I mean? But if you can't go to man and see it in man that they persevered, that they went through it, you can't skip Christ. It ain't going to work like that. Y'all get this? Right? Read.
We are counted as sheep for the slaughter.
Read.
Nay, in all these things,
right,
we are more than conquerors.
Right, and it feels like that. You're a sheep led to the slaughter. The giving up, the losing, the battle, all the things that Christ said you were going to do, you feel like that, right? That you're a sheep led to the slaughter. It's hot in here now, ain't it? Get a little hot? Maybe it's me. It says, read.
We are more than conquerors.
We are what?
More than conquerors.
Now, who believes that? Who believes in themselves? Who believes in themselves, believing in YAHAWASHI? There you go. that you're more than a conqueror. Right? I can do all things through YAHAWASHI, which strengtheneth me. Go ahead.
Through him that loved us.
Right? Through what?
Through him that loved us.
So we acknowledge YAHAWASHI's walk was out of love. His dedication, his sacrifice was out of love. And through that, we're saying that motivates me to watch his path, to look at his path and be motivated by that lifestyle. That's where we look at. That's why we're able to stick around, because we're looking at YAHAWASHI. And all these little small things, that's what they are, just small things. Little distractions trying to throw me off. Right? Read on.
For I am persuaded
Go ahead.
that neither death,
right,
nor life,
right,
nor angels,
uh-huh,
nor principalities,
read,
nor powers,
right,
nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of God.
There you go. That's what it should be. It should be that daily thinking. When you pray, when you wake up, you know the mission and the goal, and you know Satan, your adversary, is being the devil that he is trying to always throw you off your square, right? Always throw you out of the spirit of the Most High, so he can what? Accuse you before the Father. But if we lock into YAHAWASHI, we don't have to worry about that. All right, 2 Corinthians 12 and 9. Y'all got any questions on that? Anybody want to add to that? 2 Corinthians 12 and 9.
2 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 9.
Uh-huh.
And he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee.
Right, no, read up a little bit.
Verse 7.
Right.
Come on, verse 7.
Uh-huh.
2 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 7.
Go ahead.
At least I should be exalted above measure.
No. You're going to have to go up. Go up. Just let's see what he's talking about. Because I know a lot of the kids, a lot of parents might not even know what this is talking about. 2 Corinthians 12 and it is 7. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Verse 7.
Uh-huh.
At least I should be exalted above the measure.
Right.
Through the abundance of the revelation.
Now, who can break that down right there? I'm gonna have him read it one more time, and then I'm gonna see who can break that down. Read it one more time.
At least I should be exalted above measure. Through the abundance of the revelation.
Go ahead.
There was given to me.
Stop. So what does that mean?
You can get prideful and exalted off of the wisdom and knowledge the Most High gave you.
Right.
You can get lifted up, and you can think you know more than you really do.
True.
And you can think that you're better than your brother or the next person that don't got what you got.
Correct. Now, Paul was saying it because he was reminding us how he thinks, right? Exactly what he said. He said it. I mean, there's nothing else that could be said. He said it, but my point I was saying is, Paul is reminding us that he himself, right? So he wouldn't get puffed up above his measure, right? Because of the revelations and the wisdom that he knew. Read on.
There was given to me a thorn in the flesh.
So to keep him humble, he had a poke in the flesh. Now, it doesn't get too specific, but there was something wrong with him physically, right? That was a hurt, a bother, a burden to him, right? This is us. This is everything we go through to keep us what? Humble. You know what I mean? To keep us humble in the spirit of the Lord. And remember, it's always who in the back. Satan trying to do what? Watch what I get. Let me hit his body and let me see if he's going to stay in the right spirit. Because it's irritating when your body hurts. It's so irritating, bro. My back been hurting over a month now. I'm like, bro, is this going to... I got to go through all the chiropractor and all the thing I did just 4 or 5 months before. It's vexing, right? And that could get you around people, agitated, irritated, short with people, right? That's why we tell sisters, just because you're on your menstrual cycle, that don't mean all of a sudden Satan can dwell in you. Like, the 7 days, Satan dwells here. No, you're still a child of the Lord.
That's right.
Like, you don't read about that now. You can be demonic because that's what they teach the kids, though. Oh, she's on her cycle. She's gonna what? Stay her ass in the spirit.
That's right.
She gonna stay in the spirit of the Lord. I got 4 women in my house. If that was, that's why from a young age I told my ribs, don't pitch that. I had to break them out of that at a young age. That way, when they went around, and my daughters, when they have it, yeah, they still have the pains, but they ain't walking around with no ghetto attitude and like, Father, like all that. That don't happen. Why? Because we did what? We showed them that you don't just get out of the spirit of the Lord because you're battling a thorn in the flesh. YAHAWASHI is still our strength, our fortress. Y'all get this? And that's what happens with a lot of us. We got to remember. You're going to go through it. Through pearls, trials, tribulation, losing. Right? Did YAHAWASHI lash out on the apostles? YAHAWASHI could have blazed them when they went to sleep. Like, he said, damn, he said it. Y'all couldn't stood up for a moment, but he could have just lost it. He could have lost it and said, see, this is what I'm saying, Yahweh. These ninjas don't care. Like, really? Why am I out here doing this? His crying bloods and tears could have been curses. It could have been all the prayers of David. Father, curse their children, curse their lineage. It could have been that. But he was, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. He said, sleep. Sleep, brothers. Sleep. Check that out. That's humility. That's the application of keeping the Father first on our mind, so when we in these instances, we don't lose the strength and power that people need to see. They need to see that good example. They need to see the strength in the actual working of the Most High. So that's why he said, if you fast, don't do like the Pharisees. Don't walk around with a sad face. You know what I mean? He said, wash your face. Be in the spirit, right?
Make it as though you did not fast.
Yeah, exactly. That's what brothers and sisters were like, what's happening? What's going on with you? Trials, affliction, oppression. Why are you angry all the time and make it the wise man mad? Make it like that's the only scripture you're gonna try to apply. Right, brother, I ain't got nothing to smile about. I'm catching hell. Right, but what about the rejoicing, the joy? Yeah. Right? Right, exactly. I took joy in my tribulation. What about that?
Count it all joy. Not fall into darkness.
There you go. Count it all joy.
That's right.
But who can do that? Who can do that? You see that?
God.
You know what I'm saying? They say, I'm catching it for YAHAWASHI. This is the path I chose. Right? You know, we gotta do a, you know how they do that with their gun? This is the gun I chose. Right? You know how they do that? We gotta do something like, this is the path I chose. I choose this for the Father. We gotta do something like that. we gotta come up with a mantra like that for Israel. You know what I mean? For you to remind yourself, look, this is your path you chose. Right? The Father gave the path, He called you, and you got to keep giving yourself to it. But I want you to find out real quick. You say it again. How does it go?
Count it all joy.
Count it all joy. Find that one. Yeah, that was right on point. Go ahead, read on.
The messenger of Satan.
Right.
To buffet me.
Right. So the messenger of Satan always there to buffet you. He's always there to poke at you. He's not going to let up, y'all. Because the whole point is to destroy you, to make you look bad, right? I always remind my ribs, let not your good be evil spoken of. The one time you mess up, what happens? They want to discontinue all the work, right? That's Satan. He wants to get that. He wants to do that. You see that? But that's why we got to lock in and stay strong and not fall into a weak mind state. Right? Right. We're going to go there, but after this. Go ahead.
Least I should be exalted above measure.
Right. So a lot of times these things and trials and battles are there to keep us humble and meek. Like Christ. All the spiritual power and healing power he had to humble the hell down. It said he was humbled in fashion like a man. He was tempted in all manner we were tempted in. So all that mental agony and battle, he did it. He's our example. Con? Okay, read that. Read where you at. You got it? Go ahead.
James chapter 1 and verse 2.
We got to put that one. That was right on point. Go ahead.
My brethren, count it all joy.
Right.
When ye fall into diverse temptations.
Yeah, who's thinking of that? You're like, that's Christianity, y'all. What the hell are you talking about? That's the Bible.
Yeah.
That's the scriptures. That's the word.
Yeah.
Where are you at again?
James chapter 1 and verse 2.
James 1 and 2. He said, count it all joy. Right, but look at you. You're what? Faint-hearted. You're panicking. Now you got to rethink your whole life. Like, you know what? I got to rethink all of this now. Right? That's why brothers don't want to talk to us. It's like brothers don't want to talk to us because they know we're going to go through these scriptures and they don't want to what? They don't want to hear that. So they regular just what? Just disappear. Because I know what you're going to come to me with. Count it all joy. Fight the good fight. We're going to go there too. Read.
Yeah. It says, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience.
Right. Right. And that's the thing that it went back to that question earlier, but about the patience. Right? Count it all joy because it works patience. The Most High is going to reveal us, y'all. And he's going to reveal how much we do love and dedicate ourselves to him. How much we do say, Yahweh's the power. You got to watch what you be praying. Watch what you say. Yahweh's the power. Except for when... Yahweh's the power. Except for when... It's just like, what? Somebody say something? No, not. What?
It's funny that you mentioned that because when you do pray, Yahweh make me strong. Okay, well, I'm going to try you.
I'm going to put you to hell. I'm going to put you in captivity and trial, tribulation, persecution. Why? Because you need all this to define you, to refine you. Right? Y'all know all the motivational speeches, especially now on YouTube and Facebook. It got the musical background. He was doing this and he climbed the mountain all the way to the top. Y'all know the Denzel one. He's in the background telling about how you can do it and how you got to believe in yourself. And I'm like, Con, okay. Well, what about us? What about the true belief? They're telling you to believe in yourself. What about believing in YAHAWASHI, in his example, and using that to motivate you to be more like him? What about that? You see, these are the things we can't forget because you're working out your own soul salvation, right? I'm going to say it again. I am my brother's keeper, but brothers ain't going to be there 24/7. They're not omnipotent, right? They're not the Most High. Go ahead, read on in that.
But let patience have her perfect work.
And we could go down in that, but that's perfect right there. That was a good one. Let patience have her perfect work. Go, let's finish it up with Hebrews 12.
You didn't want the Corinthians?
Oh, we didn't?
I didn't finish.
Oh, finish that. Sorry. Yeah, you didn't finish. Go ahead.
Verse 8. For this thing I besought the Lord thrice.
Right? So I went to the Most High thrice. How many of us, man, go and cry to the Most High? I know I have. Like, Yahweh, please, this back pain, man, take this away. I need to move around like I used to. Right? It's irritating. Above all, right? Take this away. Go ahead.
That it might depart from me.
Right. Read.
Verse 9.
Right.
And he said unto me,
right.
My grace is sufficient for thee.
No, you got grace. You're here. You're breathing. You're alive. Right? How many of us still can move and still be motivated and still have a smile and still be ready? Ready at the forefront of the battle to keep moving forward. Right? Yes, sir. Can I have some more?
Thank you, sir. Can I have another?
Come on, right. Come on. Right? Read.
My grace is sufficient for thee.
Go ahead.
For my strength is made perfect in weakness.
And that's what a lot of us is not understanding. You're made stronger when you go through this trial. Right? It makes you stronger. But if you don't go through the trial ever and conquer, you're never going to come off the other side shining gold, refined, right? In the furnace of adversity, in the furnace of your trial. If you always stop the process of the refining, that utensil, that tool, that gold, whatever it is, that the sword, whatever you're pounding at, right, is never going to be what it was intended to be. And that's us. That's why Ecclesiasticus 2 always comes and talk when we talk about these things. Woe to you that lost patience, right? Woe, constantly endure, right? We got to constantly remind ourselves about this. Go ahead. Come on.
Most gladly, therefore,
right?
Will I rather glory in my infirmity.
Right. He gloried in the infirmities. Go ahead.
That the power of Hamashiach
right.
may rest upon me.
Right. That the power of YAHAWASHI. How do we know when YAHAWASHI is working in us? When we abandon ship? When we give up? YAHAWASHI is working in me when you always go give into your weakness. It's the conquering. Right? That's why it says, I got like 50 more, but we ain't going to be able to go to all that. Go to, let's go to here. I wanted to, where did I have it? What you guys got? Oh, okay. No, we ain't going to be able to go into that. I know I got 7 of y'all standing up. But we're going to go to the Daniel 7:18. Read on, Aria. You let it go? Go to Daniel 7:18.
Daniel chapter 7 verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom.
Shall do what?
Shall take the kingdom.
But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom. Strength.
The motivation I need.
Right? Right? Strength. Right? You can never give up. It's pertaining to your soul and your spirit. So what is your battle? Right? What is your trial? And is YAHAWASHI the strength? Right? One more. I know there's a lot. Read that one more time.
But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom.
We're going to take it. We're not going to ask for it. We're not going to beg for it. Right. Nah, we're going to take it. So how are you going to take it if your strength is small? You're not. You're going to give up. Right? It's going to be something that deters you. One more. I know we're over. I got 2 councils to do after class, so we're going to do this quick. Last one. Oh, jeez. I said it in my head, but I didn't write it. 6 and 12. 1 Timothy 6 and 12. So we're going to take, right? Go ahead.
1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 12.
No, I should say we're going to conquer, we're going to take, and what else? Read.
Fight the good fight.
We're going to fight. We're going to conquer, we're going to take, and we're going to fight. Y'all hear that? Let's say it together. We're going to what?
Fight.
Conquer. No, we're going to conquer. We're going to take. We're going to fight. We're going to do what? Conquer. We're going to take. We're going to fight. Say it again. We're going to conquer. We're going to take. We're going to fight. That's what it takes. We got to conquer. We got to take it. It can't just be, you know what I mean? I'm just here, barely making it. On the whim, I'm going to barely make it. Any second, I'm going to turn back to those blunts. I don't know, man. I hear what y'all saying, but any second, that black and mild breath is coming back. Right? It can't be like that. Any second, I don't know. Yeah, the unsurety, man, the lack of faith. Y'all got to clear all that because it's going to be some excuse that comes in. And it's going to be some weakness that comes in that motivates that. Right? What did he say? Read it again.
Fight the good fight.
Read.
Of faith.
Read.
Lay hold on eternal life.
You better lay hold on eternal life because there is nothing in this life that is worth giving up eternal life. Nothing. The trial, the persecution, the tribulation, whatever it is that is set before us, there's nothing in this life that's worth giving up eternal life. And if that ain't at the forefront of your mind, you're going to have a hard time in the truth. Because the Most High only deals with the faithful. Y'all get that? Right. So, once again, it's 9. I had all these other scriptures on YAHAWASHI and how he was showing this to the apostles. So if we get a chance, we'll finish it. We'll finish it next week, all right? Does anybody got any questions on that? Huh? Anything on that topic? How about off the topic? All right, remember, it is the Shabbat, the Sabbath. This day, let's keep it holy, right? The arguing, the bickering, the fighting, right? Letting things pull us out of the spirit so quick. Like, above all days, not saying that's supposed to happen during the week, but today we got to be conscious of that, right? Of how we're acting and how we're dealing, right? Keep your mind much more on the Most High. So what else we got? Anything online? We'll give them a few seconds. When is the Feast of Tabernacles again? I'm sorry. Pentecost. June 11th. Why everybody's here, why we got a few of y'all online, June 11th is Pentecost, right? So, Feast of Weeks, right? It is up here, June 11th. So keep that in mind. Don't forget. That's a Saturday and Sunday for us. So we're going to commemorate the High Holy Day, get together. You know what we need to do? We need to see Rochester. To be tight, we can all go down to Rochester. There's a lot of us out here. You know what I mean? There's only a few of them out there, right? Well, there's other brothers out there, but a lot of them can't leave the city. You know how it is, right? Israel, man. But yeah. So, nobody got anything else? Let's salute them online. Let's say shalom. Shalom. We'll see y'all in Sabbath class. And what we're going to do, because I do have 2 councils, we're going to say the 4 corners. And
chilling up in the kingdom. Chilling with YAHAWASHI and all the